morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Hey,
morning, Dominic.
what's up, Jason? 8 plus Jason. How you doing?
Doing well.
Nice. We got K-Save, Mr. Keith in the house. How you doing, buddy? Savvy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And Caitlin showing up just before class. Good morning. So how'd the rest of your day turn out yesterday? Did you bounce back and recover and destroy the world?
I had a stellar day yesterday. I'm going to tell you why in a
Nice.
second.
Okay.
It involved drugs. Uh,
You
I,
want to let us just stew in that for a minute?
so, past few days, head's been kind of floating, a little bit up in the clouds as I do the things around here, full on summer break, nothing to complain about. I got an Adderall from an undisclosed source in the family, in this house in particular, and I took one, and I hadn't had a focused day like that in I don't know how long,
Okay.
which prompts me to question, is that something that I should incorporate into my life? I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, getting my blood checked, all the stuff that Ryan tells us to do. And
Okay.
that's a question that I'm going to bring up with the doctor was this experience telling of is Adderall, and I am not a medical expert. I am not advertising this at all, nor am I recommending people do this. But it worked for me for the day.
Yeah.
I was my to do list was tripled. Um, didn't even think about a nap. Um, I locked down 3 new commissions. It was like,
Nice.
where is this energy the rest of the time in my existence, especially on summer break when I am literally soaking in stillness to reference our reading today.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it kind of opened up a whole big batch of questions about um, my routine, how I handle just the time by myself, and why I do things. So yeah, good day. A lot of questions, and today we have an adult. We're going to a wedding today, which I haven't been to a wedding in years, and it's no kids' wedding. So
Wait, you're going to a wedding today?
we're going to a wedding today. Yeah, up in Estes
Thursday
Park.
wedding. Okay.
It's up in the mountains. It's kind of like it's like a kind of like a 3-day event where we're doing wedding today. There's like a brunch tomorrow that I don't think we're going to be able to make. And then Saturday we're doing going for an ATV ride
Oh,
that I
all
told
right.
you on the chat, similar to the pictures that you sent in the VFam chat.
Dang.
Um, so we got a few good days,
Nice.
and then Monday's a health day for Jason. Going to the doctor. Also, in who knows how long, getting my skin checked because I got some weird spots.
Okay.
Got a really weird, like, pinched nerve in my neck. Spent all day
Mm,
yesterday stretching it out.
yeah.
So, um, how are you? How was your day? How's your day today? And how's your weekend looking?
I'm doing well. It's been a very busy week. Work has just been it's just been crazy. I feel like I'm being pulled in a lot of different directions. Every job needs my attention. I essentially have 4 projects right now, and um, I could stay at each job twice as long as I do, and both on site and in the office. But yeah, I'm barely making it. I'm barely making it. Everybody's happy. Things are moving forward. It's just very busy. Wife and kids all seem to be good at home, enjoying a relaxing week after a busy 2 weeks of the first 2 weeks of summer, or first 2 weeks of the month. Don't even know what day it is. Don't even know what day they're on. So Yeah, just hanging in there. I think we don't really have any plans this week and this weekend, so that'll be good for a recovery weekend, kind of get the house back in order, kind of get our relax on a little bit. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm good. I think I'm with you on the 8 plus, 9 kind of stuff. Like I'm sure this call will boost us.
For sure.
Uh, probably gonna stay one more night tonight, and then just check in the morning for a little bit of work, and then leave home early and try to spend 2.5 days at home.
You had a pretty packed weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
Um, what day of the week? Oh, I'll start this question like this. I'm assuming that this weekend is going to be a weekend where you are looking forward to doing nothing. Is that correct?
Pretty much chores, get back to meal prep, like that kind of thing. I'm eating fast food all week this week because there was no time to meal prep. So,
Yeah. Um, what day of the week? By what day of the week? Here's a hypothetical. I don't have an answer.
mhm.
Um, by what day of the week do you decide that you're doing nothing for the weekend? I would say ours is probably usually late Wednesday.
Okay. So, my way of living is every weekend I'm doing nothing unless my wife tells me differently. And my wife is always scheduling in advance. So, I would have known 3 weeks ago that this weekend I was doing nothing. Um, so yeah, my assumption is I'm always doing nothing. And I told her you need to give me enough of those weekends in the year to balance out the weekends that you're doing stuff, you know. And it doesn't really, like if Bailey's going and or I can't say we're not doing nothing. Okay, Bailey's friend has her 16th birthday, so there's like a quinceañera type party on Saturday that we're all gonna go to. So that'll be like, 2.5 hours of me doing something. So it's not incredibly nothing. I just mean like, it's not one of those like big party weekends where we have friends coming over. So the day before we're cleaning the house and prepping the pool, or those weekends where we're going out of town for a couple of days. We're always doing something.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to just like sit at home like all weekend long and do absolutely nothing. But yes,
Mhm.
we have had plenty. We do have a couple of those types of weekends out of the year. So yeah, it's pretty much, like I said, I don't make any plans. So if I look at my calendar today and tomorrow and I see nothing, then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna order a bunch of food, I'm gonna barbecue, I'm gonna call my friend out there, see if they want to come over just for a casual hang, or if we want to finally hit Top Golf because we haven't hit that place in a while, grab a beer. Um, but other than that, take wifey out on a date because we haven't done that in a while, like those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that stuff, on all those things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. David,
when
that's true. The hack is if your house is looking dirty, just invite people over. Like if you walk into your home and you're like, man, this place is a wreck. Honey, let's find some friends over next weekend. Then all of a sudden the house gets clean. It's just weird.
yeah, I can connect with that for sure. I did spend a good part of the morning yesterday doing a deep clean.
Yeah.
Bathrooms. Dude, my 10-year-old destroys toilets. Does your 10-year-old destroy toilets? Good
10-year
lord.
old. Yeah.
We have a we have a
Yeah.
we have a basement toilet, and I swear if I didn't know that she used it last, I would have thought that there was like a system backup and mud was coming up from the ground.
Oh man. The poor girl. She might need to talk to her uncle about her diet.
The only reason why I knew it was a human was because there was corn in it, and we did have corn.
Oh, that's funny.
Ugh.
All right, this question here. If you know you're doing nothing, do you tend to work longer during the week?
That's a great question. That's one of the questions I was going to ask today.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, slightly different. Not working during the week. Let's go with this question though,
Okay.
from Caitlin.
Back to it. Um, so if I know I'm doing no, I think it's kind of the opposite. If I know I'm doing something on the weekend, then I work harder during the week, especially if it's like a day, if it involves a day off. Just like a trucker. Damn it, Jason. You're throwing me off with this poo stories. It always gets people. Um, I don't know, Caleb. I don't know. I always need to work harder than I do. Some days I do, some days I don't. Oof, we're all over the place. Let's talk about stillness. Let's calm it down. Let's slow
Yeah.
it down, people.
Let's
Shh.
go to Caitlin's question. It's a good question because I
All
am
right, you
thinking
answer
about
it.
it. And I'm thinking during the school year when I am working, um, and nothing's planned for the weekend. I'll just say when something is planned for the weekend, there is a sense, it's not positive stress because I know that we're possibly not gonna have a whole lot of downtime. But I generally look forward to eventful weekends. Kristen is usually better at planning it early. I'm better at starting planning on like Thursday night, maybe Friday when I'm on top of things. Um, yeah, there's a little bit more of a fire beneath my butt to get this stuff done, so I don't have to think about it on Sunday night before school starts again.
Yeah.
But I would
I
say
think
overall, general, like it's a positive experience. It's not like I'm planning for deficit, you know.
yeah, maybe I read her question wrong, but I think mine's the opposite. So if I know I'm doing something on the weekend, then I work a little longer and a little harder and strategically during the week so that I know that I've completed the tasks and I won't say the phrase, oh, yeah, I can maybe squeeze in an hour or two of work on the weekend. Like if I'm doing nothing, I might say the phrase, oh yeah, I'll get to that Friday from my home computer, or Saturday from my office computer. I never do it. So now I try to never say that phrase because even though I have a fully equipped office computer completely connected to work and a cell phone, the second I step through those doors, even though it's technically my business address, no business happens in that house. Just funny
Yeah,
business.
I think I answered the question opposite, like you read it. I'm pretty comfortable in the fact that I'm not going to do any work over the weekend. Like I could leave my laptop at school and not touch it. And I have gotten better at like not doing anything Sunday nights because trying to work on Sunday nights, yeah, I do it. It sucks. It's like
Yeah.
you lose like 6 hours off your weekend, especially in the teaching profession.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah. That's for the
Stillness.
household work and chores.
Yeah. Um, concept of stillness. I read a book a long time ago, way back. This was way back before it's like early 2000s, I think. Um,
Hmm.
and a story. My quick story for this is we did a trail marathon. This was before kids, so we are doing trail marathons. Um, this was like the first one that we did as a couple, and it was in my college town in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, and we finished the marathon and we went back to the house we were staying in, and I was still antsy. It was like, why the f do I feel like I have to do something? I just did this terrible event, and um, after that, like in time after that, I realized maybe it was just like anxiety, just like general anxiety, which I feel like in my reflection on the past, probably had that, a little bit.
Yeah.
Always feeling like I was wasting time. and not finding stillness. And I did write, I read a book literally called Moving Towards Stillness. It was kind of like martial arts based. But that it talked a lot about like kind of like what today's page is. Today's page is a good synopsis of it, is like finding the time where you can do nothing and just sit in it. Like, don't focus on what's coming next. Just focus on doing nothing, because when you're doing nothing, it's not going to last. You know, it's like those times when we're floating above +8, +9, you know, we're not going to stay there. Tomorrow could be different. And if you wake up on the top end of that scale, you really got to enjoy that and hang on to that, because it is short lived, especially when you have kids, spouse, dogs, cats that eat foam, doing construction. You know, you really have to take advantage of doing nothing. It's work. It takes work to do nothing, Dom.
It does. Yeah, it really does. I mean, you guys know, I squeezed in my time right now, right? Like right after this call, this is my stillness time. So if any of you don't know, and we could circle back to like the way this show is ran, like we read a book, we read a page a day from Ryan Holiday's book, The Daily Dad. So Ryan Holiday also wrote a book called Stillness is the Key. Stillness is the big part of Stoicism. So this page comes from that. If you want to learn more about stillness, read the book. I recommend it. I love the book. It was a really good book. The way he writes his books they're very easy to read, in my opinion, coming from someone who hated reading, and never read ever since I got out of college. Picking up his book made the transition very easy for me. Just the way he writes them, they're just super simple. The chapters are very short, so you can knock one out like real quick and feel like accomplished for the day. And reading has also been a good way for me to capture some stillness in my day, because I can't read in like a noisy environment, so I have to find myself, a still, quiet location, usually in my car, parked somewhere. Done it on the beach, like those kind of things, and it just helps kind of slow my brain down, focus on the words on the page. So that's been one thing. Journaling, obviously. I like his note in here about those long, ridiculous walks to school. So if anybody, has what maybe I don't know what age they walk faster, but 10 and under, 7 and under, it feels like it takes forever just to get from your car to the gates at school. And so yeah, that's a I've I've learned to slow down and just enjoy my kids' enjoyment of going slow, of looking at every flower or every like nook in the bush. Like at on my son's walk to school, there's this bush that for some reason it grew into a tunnel. And so kids can c- essentially walk through this bush like it's a tunnel to get to school. And it's very cool, and he enjoys it, and he goes very slow because you don't want to scratch yourself in the morning from the branches, and you kind of have to like hunch over and stuff. And so it used to like be one of those things where it would frustrate me, like, dude, why does it take you like 15 minutes to walk a block? um but when I started to like see that he was playing and having fun in the morning, and not crying because he's going to school, it helped me slow down and enjoy those moments, because one day he's gonna be like my daughters, where I just pull into a parking lot, give them a hug, they get out of the car, and I don't see them for 6 hours.
Yeah. So you're saying that the age of your kids. Oh boy, sorry, dogs go
Hello.
nuts. They got the zoomies. Um, the age of your kids is kind of affecting how they're approaching stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little microcosm of our talk today. I have got my journal open here. The 17th, I can barely read what I wrote. The day
Ooh.
after, bulleted lists. All the letters are the same size. What's up, Kira?
Hi.
You want to say hi to Dom?
I don't know.
Hey
Yeah.
there.
Okay. This is my oldest. This is Kira. I think this is the first time she's making it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't recognize her. I was like, she may be the only one that I haven't seen pop on screen.
You want to be on screen or no?
I don't really care.
You don't really care. I'm going to take that as a no. Kira, we're talking about stillness today.
I don't know what that
Stillness is, if I were to define it for a 12-year-old, is finding the time to do nothing. Do you feel like you and mom and dad are good at that?
is. Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I don't really understand.
Kira had a bunch of days of stillness this week, but next week it's going to get pretty busy. I think Kira's pretty good at doing nothing when the time allows.
I feel like my teenager is very still. Sometimes I'll check on her every hour, and I'm like, "You just have not moved out of that bed, have you, girl?"
Yeah,
Um, but she's on her phone a little too much, so I don't really quantify that as stillness when you have a phone or a device in your hands.
yeah. Speaking of phones, Kira, we just upgraded Kira's phone to an iPhone.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so we did get to spend some time setting it up and kind of going over expectations, which is kind of odd. It's like, you know how when you get a dog, you're like, okay, now it's not just going to be me feeding this dog and taking him out. Everybody has to do it at once. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah. I'm not wondering what this is going to look like in a few months.
the phone thing.
Yes. Don't be shy.
Yeah,
Everybody woke up too,
Mm-hmm.
except the people in Australia. They've been up or they're going to bed.
they're going to bed soon.
Yeah.
So how'd that phone conversation go?
I think it went well. Talked about how one of mom and dad's weaknesses is what, Kira?
What?
What are mom and dad not always so good about with phones?
No.
Just mindless scrolling. Like we tell them to control their screen time. Do mom and dad do it? Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Right. So, kind of talking about like I don't want to say, "Hey, you can be on the phone." I want to be like, what I told Kira is, you have to be able to recognize when you've been on the phone too long, or if you're just kind of doing nothing. Right. And I'm
Yeah.
giving her all this advice yesterday. Like I'm kind of showing her some apps that I find really useful. Um, and I'm like, do I even do the things that I'm telling my daughter to do?
See, now you got to help remind your father. I've told my kids that recently that like some of this stuff that I tell them to do it's not really fair because I'm showing them differently. And so I've told them, lately, I'm like, hey, dad needs help too. So, obviously don't do it in a way that's like, hey, dad, like don't do it in a way that seems like you're trying to parent your parent, but just little lovely reminders and hints like, "Hey, dad, you've been on your phone or you've been watching Netflix too long or stop playing Roblox, let's go outside."
Do you think mom and dad need reminders to get off their phone? Are you even awake right now?
No.
No. No.
You're
She
gonna
just
wait.
came down to see when you were bringing breakfast.
Too many questions. She's out.
Tired of this interview.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm giving her tips like if you're holding your phone and you're not really doing anything with it, maybe put it down. I could do that myself. I've never done that. I've never taken that advice. But I'm giving all this advice like I'm like an iPhone time expert. So
Yeah.
um kind of makes me question the way I demonstrate things for sure.
Well, I mean, props to you and your wife and your kids even for going that long without an iPhone. I don't know many people that have done that. I know a lot of people who have crossed that border way earlier. So I'm sure it was a interesting conversation. I hopefully she doesn't go the opposite direction, because I know I've had people in the past, which it doesn't seem like it would be for your family, knowing what I know about you guys, but where they, someone's without something for so long and then they finally get it and they go like way overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I don't imagine that's going to happen to you, but I've seen it enough in certain instances. Sit too close to the screen. Yeah.
Am I too close to the screen?
Well, I don't know where your screen is.
Is
You could just be really close to your camera.
is Scuba Steve criticizing my layout?
I don't think so.
I feel attacked.
Scuba has a way with words. See, that's like what David said. I think Kieran just needed a fresh pancake.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all up there sitting in the kitchen just waiting.
I told them this is our two youngest last day of summer school. They are not in the mood to go to school, and frankly, I'm not in the mood to do that fight today on the last day because it's going to be a half day. We're going to pick them up early so we can go to this wedding. The television, yeah. Oh man, iPads, so close to the face. I don't think I'm going to make them go to school today. I don't have the wherewithal right now.
Yeah, it's so strange how that happens, because usually the last days are just, the chill out days, the saying goodbye days, I know summer school for them, it was short, right? It was like a week or two.
3 weeks.
Um,
Oh,
okay.
sorry. Yours.
So it's no, I was talking about yours. So I was
Oh.
saying it's not like it's a whole long, months and months and months, and there's like connection points, but like I've had that too where they're just like fighting going, and it's like you only have like 4 more days, and like these are the easy days, like all your homework's done, like your test, yeah, maybe there's a one last test or something like that, but other than that, this guy, Scuba's badge of honor with the 60 absences. I just love it.
I think my Junie's highest was in the 30s. It was high enough where we started getting calls from school where it's like if she's starting to be absent more, we need a doctor's note. And like trying to explain that to a 9-year-old is like that doesn't hit.
Yeah. Yeah, was it sickness?
Yeah, it was like hard days. It's like
Yeah.
she has really, really hard mornings sometimes, especially when she had the last like a rough day before.
Yeah. It's like they wake up and you're like, you look like you really need coffee, but I shouldn't be giving you coffee.
But I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
So let's just not go to school today. Let's just find some stillness.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget that we're like reading a book.
Yeah.
And then I remember.
But we wouldn't have had this discussion without it.
Nope. All right. That's the show. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in with all your 8+ energy, all the people in the chat, everybody lurking, everybody tuning in, everybody just engaging. It's just great. I love you guys all. Have a
Yeah.
great day. Happy
Dom,
Juneteenth.
Dom, thanks for the push up to 9+ today. Appreciate it. Always enjoy your mornings together.
No problem at all, man. No problem at all. Check in anytime.
Will do.
Love you guys. We will see you tomorrow.
Have a great Thursday, everybody.